Hello, everyone. I guess this is live. I thought I would test out the live feature since we've got Origin coming up, and I'll probably do some live stuff. So I thought I would just do this live real quick. Saves me the hassle of editing, so thought I'd give this a try. So what we have here is Yaah issue number 12. I just got my copy today. This has been in the works for a little while, so I'm very happy to see this come out. We'll also take a look at the packaged game that comes with it. So for now, though, we're just going to take a look at what's in the magazine. So of course, this is the cover. The issue magazine game that we've got is MacArthur's Defeat. So the 1941 Japanese invade the island of Luzon. So I haven't even seen the game yet, so this will be my first chance to see it. Now, we got a lot of great articles, I thought, in here. Raiders of the Deep. We got to look at the British Army of the Rhine and the Germany expansion for MBT version 2. A look at the Dark Wars game, which is a really fun role-playing skirmish game, plus then a whole lot of other cool games in here. So I thought I was really looking forward to this issue. And this is nice, actually. I don't know if anybody cares about paper quality. I think this is the first magazine that we've done that actually has the feel of like magazine quality paper. I'm not quite sure how to explain that, but a lot of the issues have had that a really nice paper, but this actually feels like you can even see the gloss. I don't know why I find that cool, but for some reason I find that to be very, very cool. I didn't know I'd be so excited over paper, but I really am. Here we've got an ad for Old School Tactical Volume 3, which is coming to Kickstarter soon. So what is this, May 8th that we have? So I know a lot of people ask about like when Old School Tactical Volume 3 is coming out. I don't have a date for that. I think part of it is we want to get Crowbar out, and the reprint for like Stalingrad I think would be good to have in people's hands before we start another Kickstarter. But the Old School Tactical 3 is coming really soon. All right, so then we've got your editors, introduction, table of contents, and then we get into some articles. So this is awesome because Greg Porter, who designed Armageddon War, so he's got some thoughts and musings that he's got here behind Armageddon War, his baby. So I'll be excited to read that. This is, I thought, an extremely fun game. This has actually been a very popular game. It's a little bit different than some of the games we've had before, maybe a little bit more on the complexity side in some aspects, but I think it's actually a really good platoon level game. So it'll be interesting to see what he's written in there. Then we got Stalingrad, Verdun on the Volga. And also, one thing I've always enjoyed about the magazines is cover a lot of games, not just ours. Let's see here, Crowbar. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Crowbar too. I didn't even get a chance to play it at Origins when we had the booth set up, and Herman came up and he did a live demo. I didn't get to play. I got to see it. I just didn't get to play. So a little jealous on that. So Stalingrad, Verdun on the Volga is one of the articles that we've got. Lots of good pictures there. Then there's the BAOR and the German troops there for MBT. I've got Panzer Second Edition, and I had first edition of MBT many, many years ago. So it's one that I've wanted to get. I just haven't tackled in here yet. So it'd be interesting to see what we've got written about the expansions here. Got a couple of sample data cards, some maps. Quite a few pages, lots of good stuff. My goodness, yeah, nice, lengthy article. Table Battles, this is another one I wanted. Tom Russell used to be an editor for Yaah magazine, and also used to do a lot of work for Tiny Battle Publishing, then went on to do his own company now. So this is actually, what I've heard, is a very fun game, which I haven't played. I tell you, too many games, too little time. But I've heard Table Battles is a pretty fun game. So that's one I've wanted to get at. Air Commander then is another article that we've got. Great War Commander. This I have. This is such a fun game. if you like the Combat Commander series at all, either Europe or Pacific, and you like World War One, I think you'll enjoy this. It the gameplay mechanics are virtually the same, but you're at a platoon level instead of squad level. So if you want to know more about this, I think this is a good will be a good article to read just to give you some insights to the game, how it plays. Uh, so yeah, if you've had a chance to play the game, hopefully you've enjoyed it. But I thought it was great. Oh, the graphics are good. That was one thing I thought that Hexasim did just an outstanding job on was the map art is gorgeous. The components, the counter pieces are fantastic. So I think this will be a really good one for your collection. Plus, it even included some rules for tanks and vehicles, which we didn't have. Not we as in we did it. I didn't do anything with it. But as far as the game itself, there weren't tanks in Combat Commander. I know they did like some special scenario rules and things to give you the feel of having tanks. And I've heard I thought they were working on something to give you some vehicle or vehicles in Combat Commander, but it is here in Great War Commander. Raiders of the Deep. That's another article then that we've got in here. You can learn more about. This is Consim Games, one of their games, I believe. So I thought this one looked pretty fun too. I haven't been a big fan generally of the. Oh, let's see. I'm missing chats here. Just picked up a copy of Great War Commander. Oh, I missed that. I don't even know if I can go back. That's the problem with having my camera way up top. I catch a message just as it starts to fade. So I kind of missed that. But yeah, I hope you like the Great War Commander. I thought that was fun too. But generally the solitaire sub games. Let's see here. Oh, I have to pick up a copy now. Oh, good. Yeah. Well, I think you'll enjoy it because again, it's if you've not gotten a Yaah magazine before, I don't think you'll be disappointed because one, it's just always chock full of articles about different games. I know, and I'll tell you, this is just me kind of rambling, sharing some thoughts now. In our digital age, it is so easy to just go on to like Board Game Geek or the internet and all this information you could easily get just at your fingertips. But for me, there's still something that doesn't quite replace the dead tree feeling. And I've always still just enjoyed having an actual physical magazine and the fact that there's one dedicated to board games. I know there are several out there, so it's not like something that we corner the market on. There's actually several other magazines with a deeper lineage, but I think it's very cool that we're in here with that. And we always try to put out a fantastic issue. So, hopefully we continue to put games in here that people are interested in about hearing our thoughts on. So I'm glad that you're going to pick that up to see what they've got for Raiders of the Deep. So let's see. Then we've got another one here. Battle of Rosebud Creek then is the next article in here. And I forgot who put this one out. So I don't remember who puts that game out. But yeah, that's another one that we've got an article on. And then Dark War. Definitely this is Mark Walker's baby. If you've not heard of Dark War, this is actually a very fun game. And I don't want to sound biased, but it's a simple role-playing game. It also doubles as a skirmish game. And the mechanics are pretty simple that you can run this for alternate history type of things. Even with a little bit of tweaking, you could hack the system and do like a full-on medieval role-playing game. But it is very, very fun. I like it a lot. In fact, he's even done the Redux. Looks like the pictures are from the first edition. But if you get it now, you get the Redux version with the I don't have it here. I've got Sticks and Stones out here right now. But it's got the spiral bound binding. But yeah, if you want to know more about the game, here'd be a great place to start. In fact, who wrote this? Brad Smith. So just a quick peek on here if you want to learn more about Dark War. Here's an article for it. Genesis role-playing game. Now, I wrote this one. It's just that I'm only given a certain amount of words to use, so they had to put limitations. I wanted to write more specifically about the magic casting system of Genesis. That almost is an article in itself. Um, I think the system is great overall. The magic system is probably the one aspect of the game that I struggle with the most as far as, either creating spells on the fly or working with. It's so different than, say, like your classical Vancian magic that you get like with D&D or just spell points. So there's probably not as much on the magic system. Oh, great. Let's see who's calling. Dismiss. But anyway, yeah, so I wrote a little article in here, gives you an idea about Genesis. We've actually played a mini campaign with this and done like a one shot or two. It's a very versatile system. They already have their own Star Wars version. That's what this came from, was from the Fantasy Flight game Star Wars game system. And then I've also seen people, even though they don't need it, there's a Legend of the Five Rings hack I've seen, even though they have a Legend of the Five Rings. And then I've seen a Star Wars hack, even though they have a Star Wars game. It's just such an easy system to build for. And then plus there's all kinds of other hacks that people have done, cyberpunk, Cthulhu type things. So even though Fantasy Flight Games is coming out with their own settings for some of these ideas, it's such a simple system for fans that they can tweak it. So I still think it's a good system. So if you've not read up on this at all, hopefully this article gives you a pretty good idea of how different things work with it. Like I said, probably the only thing that I would have liked to have done more for this article was talked about the magic system. It's just I didn't quite have as much room and space as I would have liked. And then here we've got the the issues game, MacArthur's Defeat, the Battle for Luzon. And so I've been very excited to try this one out because I haven't played it yet. So this is my first time seeing it too. But this, I'm just flipping through the rules here. This seems to be probably the lengthier of the games that have come in an issue. Just flipping through the pages. Naval movement. I saw air operations. So that's actually really impressive. So you get a nice, like, this is a solidly written game, it looks like. I only mention that because I've seen some magazines that offer games, but they're just like a couple pages of rules, very simplistic. They don't have a lot of depth to them, but so far the games that we put out, I think, are usually really good, solid games that have a lot of depth to them, and it looks like this one will continue that. So then the last part, and we got from JFD to MSU via NYC. Okay. That sounds like an interesting article as well. And again, this is my first time seeing it. The only article I've seen in here is the one that I've written. So I'm very anxious to read this for myself. And then finally, just another sneak peek advertisement. Well, and if you're curious about magazines, see, a lot of times you get magazines at the store, and a majority of that is all advertisements. What we do here is really maybe just a couple ads for the whole magazine. But in case you didn't know, and maybe this will be a sneak peek for you, this is another game that Mark Walker has coming up for Platoon Commander Deluxe. So the same system that drives Platoon Commander Deluxe Curse, he's doing a Cold War game. So if you haven't heard of that yet, hopefully then that will be something that will capture your interest. But he does have a Cold War version of Platoon Commander Deluxe coming out. So yay, I'm looking forward to that one. I like the Platoon level games. So that's that. That's the magazine itself. So if you just got in live, this will be recorded. This is going to post automatically to YouTube. You can go back and see some of the articles that we missed or that you missed. So what I'm going to do now is just pull out some of the components from the game that it comes in. So first we've got the counter sheet. And this is nice. Counter sheets come wrapped in its own little plastic bag. We've got them double-sided. Usually this looks like it kind of follows a Tiny Battle Publishing format where you have 88 counters. So this looks like two sheets of 88 counters, so like 116 or so, or 100, whatever, 88 times 82. I'm not good with math today. But anyway, you're going to have a bunch of counters, looks like, and they're double-sided. And if you've not gotten a Tiny Battle Publishing game before, the counters are usually a little bit thinner than what we put in the Flying Pig game stuff, because though that's like the deluxe. I only mention that because sometimes I've had people ask, like, why is everything like thinner counters, not as big? It's because in order to keep the cost of the magazine and the game down, that's kind of the idea behind Tiny Battle Publishing. It lets us put out smaller footprint games at a cheaper cost. So that's what this is. Now, I would I would gather maybe in a few months they would come out with just a standalone version of the game, and then you might get a little bit thicker components and things like that, maybe updated art. But for now, this is what we got. So you've got your full counter sheet right there, and in the bag, just like Tiny Battle Publishing, looks like well actually this is a big map. This is not a standard Tiny Battle Publishing map. This is actually a pretty big map that we've got to play on. And then finally, last thing in here is the player aid charts. So this one's got play aid for the Japanese player, play aid for United States player, single-sided. Almost tempted to see how the game plays and if I want to cut that in half. I don't know. That might be the bad thing to do. But there you go. In player aid. So counters, player aid, and for a Tiny Battle Publishing type of thing, that's actually a really big map. And then finally, for the completionist, you get your silica desiccant gel. Do not eat, please, but you can throw that away or hold on to it. All right, that in a nutshell is what comes in the Yaah issue 12. So just to wrap up for those who just popped in, so you get a player aid, you get a rather large map for the game, MacArthur's Defeat. You get your double-sided counter sheet, which is actually quite a few counters, aircraft, infantry units, and so forth. And then, of course, the magazine itself, which, again, this is going to come in at about, well, with the rules included, it's like 80 pages. And it's actually, and just in case you didn't hear earlier, this time around, it feels like actual type magazine type paper, and it's glossy. So I'm actually super excited for that. And that's it in a nutshell. Oh, and then on the back, some more charts and tables for MacArthur's Defeat. All right, that's pretty much it. Since I do have a couple folks in here, before I wrap it up and turn off the live stream, no, this wasn't planned. I just didn't have the video card for the video camera to do like an actual recorded video and post it. So I just thought I'd go live. Plus, this gives me a chance to make sure everything still works. So when we do Gen Con, Origins, not Gen Con, when we do Origins, I can live stream some stuff there. So hopefully this worked out pretty good. But are there any questions out there before I shut this down? Well, okay. I know it's another person just popped on. So that was it. That was everything. Uh, John, thank you very much. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good too. I mean, I have to, I say things like that probably because I'm biased because I did write an article in here. But yeah, actually, it looks like a really good issue. I can't wait to sit down and read some of this stuff. So very excited on that. So if you just got here, just hang out for a few minutes and this will upload and you can watch it from the beginning. Otherwise, I'll just say good night. And I hope to see you all at Origins, which is coming up about a month. Almost less than a month. What is it, like June 12th, somewhere in there? So we'll be at Origins. I'll be there. So hopefully we'll see some of you there at Origins as well. But that's it. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.